Today's the day. Today, it's got to happen. Today, I have to score. All right. Today, I have to complete all my passes. This is my day to break the final starting lineup. I have to make it happen today. I got to get 2 goals. I got to get a clean sheet. You ever find yourself having these conversations with yourself going into games? Let me tell you something right now. These thoughts, these expectations that you have of yourself going into games is the number one reason why you do not achieve the things that you want. You ever find yourself have these expectations and then when the game is over, you feel like you didn't hit any of them? Well, look, what I'm about to share with you guys is the number one reason why players find themselves frustrated because their focus is so much on this outcome, these expectations that they set for themselves. And I'm going to teach you a tool today that's going to be able to remove these expectations and substitute them with something that's a lot more valuable, a lot more efficient, practical, and will end up getting you the things that you want. So let's get after it. My name is uncontrollable. I thank you for jumping on another episode so we can really tackle these things, so I can teach you the tools, the skills necessary for you to be the absolute best version of yourself so you can perform at the highest level possible consistently, game in and game out. All right, so let's get into it. You've all known this. We've had these experiences where you go into games and you feel that this is the one and you have to do it today. This is my last chance. When you're doing that, you're setting expectations for yourself. Now, I'm telling you right now, take those expectations and throw them away. Now, you're sitting there listening, probably like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to have expectations. Should I not expect things of myself? Should I not have expectations of greatness and becoming the best player I could be? That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that the way that your brain processes these expectations when it's game time on the field is not optimal. It's not going to put you in a position so you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. What you need to do is remove these expectations and substitute them with intentions, goals, okay? Now, these are not the same things, and I'll explain to you why. Just listen closely. When you have expectations such as a clean sheet or scoring a brace or connecting all your passes, these are expectations that are out of your control, what we like to call uncontrollables, okay? So let's break it down real quick. In games and in any aspect of life, we have the things that we can control and the things that we cannot. Let's take soccer, for example. Uncontrollables would be field conditions, teammates, coaches' decisions, who's watching the game, the weather. These are all things that are outside of our control. We cannot control them. We can, however, control other things such as effort, mindset, and then other tactical things that we'll get into in this episode as to what you can actually control. Now, I want to explain to you the relationship between controllables and uncontrollables. And by the way, scoring a goal, not in your control. Getting a clean sheet, not in your control. There's many other outside factors involved that do not allow you to do these things. You could have the best game of your life, but you might hit the post, or you might be playing against the goalie that's just phenomenal, or maybe you didn't get the opportunities to score because the teammates didn't put you in that position. A goalie can have a phenomenal game. He's feeling on fire and he's getting the balls and this and that. But you know what? 1v1 and the guy places in the corner. Doesn't matter who you are. No goalie in the world was going to save that. Or maybe a PK is given up. So you cannot make your expectations to score or not get scored on or connect every pass. These are things that are out of your control. So let's go back to that real quick. When we focus on things that we can control, what happens is we put ourselves in a position where we can actually take action and cause that thing to happen. When we focus on things that we cannot control, what happens is we do not have any control of this action and we are putting way too much of our effort and even more importantly, our confidence in the hands of things that are out of our control. And that's what most players do. I have tons of experience working with thousands of players. And when I ask them, what do you expect from this game? Many of times, if not most, they tell me things that are not in their control. Okay, so first and foremost, understanding what is in your control and what is not in your control. Okay, now, when you put your emphasis on things that you cannot control, this is how it works. Your stress level goes up. And when your stress level goes up, your performance and confidence goes down. Okay, this is how it works. You can't have them both at a high level or both at a low level. Stress goes up, performance goes down, therefore confidence goes down. When you focus on things that you can control, your stress level drops because you can control it. And when your stress level drops, your performance goes up and therefore your confidence goes up. So we have to make sure that we are focusing on things that we can control. So I'm going to say this again. Your expectations, throw them away. Throw them away. You are no longer to have expectations going into a game. You are to have intentions and goals. So what would an intention look like? An intention, something that's in your control, would look like if you're a forward, making deep runs in behind, near post runs, staying on your toes, okay? If you're a goalkeeper, your intention could be to communicate with your back line, to make sure you're covering your near post, right? If you're an outside mid or center mid, to receive the ball and move off the ball, play the easy pass and move off the ball, try and play 1 and 2 touch. These are things that are in your control. Now, when you do the things that are in your control, that are practical and lead up to the thing that you actually want, which is the outcome. In basic words, this is called process over outcome. It's putting your intentions, putting your mentality, your mindset, your focus, and whatever you want to call it on the process and letting go of the outcome. You know, sometimes I hear coaches say, hey, come on, guys, we got to win today. We have to get 3 points today. That's not the right way. That's not good information. And it's not good information for you to give yourself either. I have to score today. We have to win today. Saying those things are not going to make you any closer to scoring or winning. However, thinking about things as a team, stretching the field, playing direct, having some kind of a game plan or tactical approach to the game, that's what's going to get you in a position to win the game. Don't worry about winning the game. Don't worry about scoring the goals. Don't worry about connecting every pass. Do the things that you need to do that cause that thing to happen. So I hope that made sense to you. Now, we understand what controllables are. We understand what uncontrollables are. We understand what intentions are in your control. And we understand what expectations are. You know, and when we reach these situations and it's Saturday or it's Sunday and it's game time and we're out there, there's so much going on. There's so much outside noise. Your ability to literally draw a line, a figurative line down the middle and say, this is in my control. I'm going to do something about it. This is out of my control. I'm going to let it go. And when you start practicing that, you get better and better at it. And when you get better at it, you're taking all of your mental effort and putting it towards things that you can control and letting go of the things that you can't. Because most of the time, the things that we cannot control, that's what trips us up. So then you're playing a game, you have an expectation of yourself, you don't do what you're expected to do, and then what happens? The ants start coming in. What are the ants? Antagonizing negative thoughts. I'm not good enough. Maybe I can't score. I'm in a slump. I don't belong on this team. All of these things that do not serve us whatsoever. And so I want you to really understand this and stop setting expectations for yourself. They're only going to trip you up. Substitute them with intentions, goals, things that are process oriented that are going to, in fact, get you what it is that you want. With that message, I want you to really take that into practice in your training sessions. You can do that there. In previous episodes, I talked about training the way that you want to play, right? Treating your practice as a game. Well, one way in doing that is don't just show up for practice. I want you to show up for practice with an intention set in mind. And you know what? As a matter of fact, write it down. Put it on a piece of paper. Remember the 2 things that you want to get out of today's practice. Put it in your sock. Read it before the game. Put it in your phone. Whatever you want to do, make sure that you are very clear as to what your intention is, because that's where you're going to put your energy, in something that you can control. And then what that's going to lead you to do is put your effort into that. What's that going to lead you to do is put your effort into that. Things that are in your control, and you're going to like the outcome. You're going to like the result, because that's all you got control over anyway. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. These are tools that are not specific to any one position or any one player. These are the tools and techniques, as I promised you in this mini-series podcast. I'm going to share with you the secrets that the top level athletes, not just in our sport, But in every sport, this is what they're doing. This is how they get results. So I want you to take these things, write down notes, ask me questions. I base these videos based off of the questions I receive from you. Like I mentioned, I've worked with thousands of athletes, mostly soccer players, and the same problems keep coming up. And it's the same stuff over and over again. Enough of that. Get the most out of yourself. You're already putting in all the hard work. You're going to training. You're lifting the weights. You're doing work on your own. Don't leave this to chance. Train your brain so your feet can do what they're supposed to do come game time. I enjoyed this very much. My name is Itzik Rappaport. Email me, itzik@mentalcoachpro.com. Now, yeah, and then over there, let's get into it. Let me answer these questions. Let's make this a journey. You're not on your own. I got your back. I'm right there with you. Let's become the absolute best player that we can be, because you're not that player right now. You and I know that you're capable of more than what you're currently doing. You are absolutely capable of more. You have more fire. You have more energy. All right? You have more charisma, but you can't show it because you're weighing it down with all of these ants. It's time to start squashing these ants. Thank you very much. Let's catch on in the next episode when we're going to dive into more practical tools that you can use right away so you can become the absolute best version of yourself. Let's go.